Am I the idiot for telling my cousin nobody cares if she has a husband and kids? My cousin Amanda, female 29, and I, female 33, are very different. She is like the typical trad wife. Ever since she was little, her life goal was to be a housewife and have a husband and kids. She is really feminine and dresses up really modestly like one of those 1950s housewives. I am different. I have a job at a law firm. I wear both feminine and masculine clothes. I am career-driven but also want a family someday. I always keep my hair short like a bob. And TBH, even though she and I are different, I respect her wishes of being a housewife. That is her choice. So, Amanda is the typical housewife who also has a TikTok where she always talks about how being a homemaker and having a husband who provides for you is a blessing. That she is not some sad, ugly feminist who is enslaved in the job field. She often says that working for your husband is so much better than working for a boss or a company. Also, as women, we should go back to our biological roots and be a housewife and take care of the kids. She is also anti-abortion. All of this is something I ignore until it is a way to insult me. She hates that I work a corporate job and have a different life. She often tries to persuade me to quit and find a husband. She often brags about how stressless her life is and how happy she is as a homemaker. And also that I am already pushing 40 and I need to start taking things seriously instead of being a carousel rider. First of all, what I do in my private life is none of her business. Secondly, she knows I am not someone who has sex with every living being. What hurts the most is when she says that if I was a bit more feminine like her and not masculine, 2 of my ex-boyfriends wouldn't have cheated on me in the past. TBH, I am very tall, like 5'10", and I am not fat but have a little large body type. This has been going on for a long time. I brush it off every time I hear it. She always tries to scare me like, "Oh, you know guys don't like women who are in their 30s, you should dress up like a girl, your clock is ticking." I literally blocked her social media. She also gossips a lot about me and other female members who have a career that we are just sad spinsters who got sucked into the lies of feminism. So, last week was my grandfather's birthday and it is special because he beat cancer. All of our family was there, including Amanda, her husband Jerry and her 2 kids, male 7 4M. We were all chatting and having fun until my uncle asked about Eric, 34M, my boyfriend. Before I could answer, Amanda made a joke. "Well, did he skip town already?" I asked what she meant and she said, "Well, your last 2 boyfriends left you." I was betting how long will it take. I just sat there trying to grasp what she just said. She again went on a rant about how she made the right choice by getting married at 21 so she doesn't have to deal with dating nonsense, and how lucky she is, and it is all because she is not some street WH0 I snapped at her and said literally nobody gives a frick about her or her perfect family. Millions of people get married every year, so she is not some special snowflake. She has no identity besides being a housewife, which she only got because of a ring. She didn't achieve anything big. All she does is scrolls through TikTok and social media and gossips with her equally shallow friends. And she needs to get over herself because she is not unique, because she got tied down and left us alone. The people there were shocked. They all continued the party, but after I left I got a message from Amanda that I am an AH for yelling at her in front of her husband, and that being a so-called strong independent woman has made me bitter, and that I will die alone with cats. My aunt, her mom, also asked me to say sorry, and that just because I am jealous of her daughter doesn't mean I had to scream like that. I am just proving her daughter's point right. So, am I an idiot? Comment 1. Not the idiot. It sounds as though she is constantly belittling and demeaning you for choosing a different life path than hers. I think that if anyone is jealous, it is probably her. People who are happy and content in their life don't generally seek to find fault with others. I respect women who choose to be stay-at-home mom. If their partner agrees and they can afford it, that is wonderful for them. I think that women who choose differently deserve the same level of respect. Whether a woman prefers to remain single or child-free is no one's business. Women have more to offer than being a wife or a mother. Women need to respect other women's choices. I have been a wife and a mother, but I am so much more than that too. I have also worked and taken great pride in the work I have done. In criticizing your life, she is criticizing every woman who ever chose to live a life different from hers, and that should not be tolerated by anybody. Trying to shame you does not make her look better, it makes her judgmental and misogynistic. Then the original poster responded with, "She used to be a little passive-aggressive about these comments, but ever since the Roe v. Wade debacle she has been more direct. I mean, I am pro-choice. I think every woman should have the rights to their body. Even if that means choosing not to have kids. She wants 6 kids. I do not think this is something wrong. Her husband can provide. Last week I just lost it." Comment 2. Does Amanda know that people like her also get cheated on/divorced? Then what would she do? No work experience, or a major gap in her employment history isn't going to work in her favor, is it? TBH, I'd have lost my poop long ago with her. But pushing 40 comments? You are 33. I am 34. I'm not pushing just yet. Just because she has her life planned and wrapped in a pretty pink bow doesn't mean that anyone who disagrees or lives their life differently is wrong. I would not apologize. She has been able to get away with her misogynistic and condescending attitude long enough. Not the idiot. Then the original poster responded with, she thinks that a good woman is able to keep her man. And he would not cheat on her if she is a good wife. If he does, then she must not be caring for him. Now for the update. Hello guys, I didn't realize that I would get so much attention. Some of the comments were hilarious. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I found out that I am pregnant. Yay. That kinda explains why I lashed out rather than just ignoring Amanda's comments. My boyfriend proposed to me the moment he learned about the pregnancy. He further said he had been planning on proposing to me 6 months ago, which would have happened on my birthday next month, but the pregnancy just seals the deal. He promised me that he would give me a better proposal. And about Amanda, we are not speaking yet, but there was a thing with her husband. You see, her husband and I are amicable but not close. It is just simple hi and hello. So, I was shocked when I got an email from him. The email said that he was sorry for his wife's behavior at the dinner table. He kept saying I do not deserve the treatment his wife gave. He pushed her a lot to apologize to me. And now here is the kicker. He mentioned he kept a news article about me from 2 years ago. You see, 2 years ago, me and my friends volunteered to feed 100 homeless and poor people on Christmas. It was my idea, but my friends helped a lot. We organized the whole thing and paid for the stuff. I was the leader of this. The local newspaper picked on the story and they did an interview. My picture was there with a small segment in the newspaper. Later on, the same newspaper did another interview when I volunteered at my local homeless shelter. I basically coached them to find a job and prepare them for interviews. Kinda like a life coach. Jerry, Amanda's husband, kept both of those papers with him. He said that he has always admired my drive and passion to help people. He is really swooned by it. He wishes his wife was like me. It really creeped me out. Tell me you do not find that creepy. Yesterday, my aunt, Amanda's mother, came to my home and accused me of seducing Jerry. She further said Amanda was crying because her husband fought with her after what she said to me. Her husband was adamant that she would say sorry to me. And during their fight, he slipped it out that Amanda will never be as good as I am because she is a boring housewife while I am someone who is actually doing something that makes a difference. My mom asked me if Jerry ever tried to flirt with me. I don't know what to say. I didn't mention the email because this will complicate the situation even more. My mom asked me to show my aunt the messages between Jerry and I so that she stops accusing me. I did. The last conversation I had with Jerry was on September 9th, 2022 during Amanda's birthday. He wanted to check if I was coming to the party or not. That's it. Like I said, I never had any serious conversation with him other than some hi and hello. I am so confused now. I still haven't told my mom or anyone about my proposal or pregnancy. Edit. I think I should make it clear why I find Jerry's mail a little creepy. If it was just an apology on behalf of his wife, I would have gotten it. But it says he kept a news article from 2 years ago of me. I didn't even keep that because it was a small segment where they wrote it. Also the fact that he had never approached me about it. I have been doing charity work for 8 years now. He knows it but never approached me about it. He literally said he was swooned by me. Which is why I find it a little creepy. But then again, you guys might be right. He was just being polite and I am reading too much into it because I feel like it is my fault they are having problems, but I will just stay out of it. Comment 1. He might have just been proud of you and told you about the articles as a show of good faith that he doesn't feel the same way as his wife does about you. My cousin's significant other was in the news for a good deed, and I clipped and saved it. I'm not in love with him, or a stalker, just proud that he's a good person and will someday be related to me by marriage. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Your cousin Amanda is just expressing her beliefs and values, and you had no right to attack her like that in front of everyone. She's entitled to her choices, and you should respect them instead of trying to bring her down. You come across as bitter and jealous of her happiness as a homemaker, and your comments about her having no identity and achieving nothing are just plain rude and uncalled for. Maybe if you focused on your own life instead of obsessing over hers, you'd be in a better place emotionally. And now you're dragging her husband into your drama with that creepy email nonsense. You're just blowing things out of proportion because you can't handle the fact that she has a loving family and you're struggling with your own relationships. Apologize to Amanda, her husband, and your family for your outbursts, and maybe try to learn some humility and respect for other people's choices. Comment 3. Your cousin could easily do volunteer work or something meaningful, parenting is, but it's not a personality, but she doesn't want that. I don't even think it's about marriage and family because what she really wants and basically admitted she just wants someone to pay her way through life. Being a stay-at-home mom is hard, but there's always time for a hobby other than making TikTok full of lies. Now, for the next story. Would I be the idiot for telling a hookup's wife he's cheating on her? So the other day I, 26M, got talking with this guy, male 40, on a dating app, and he told me he had recently divorced from his wife. We decided to hook up and he invited me over to his place around the early evening. Maybe I should have known what was up when I got there, as it had the vibe of a place a married couple lived, but I guess I just figured he'd kept the house. Or maybe I'm just projecting backwards, I don't know. Anyway, we got busy etc., and afterwards we were just kind of chatting in his bed when we heard the front door open and close and there was a woman's voice calling up the stairs. He freaked out and started pushing me into their ensuite to hide. Obviously I figured out what was going on at this point and pointed out he told me he was divorced, but he just said he'd explain later and closed the door on me and left the bedroom. I couldn't really hear what they were saying from there, but she left again without entering the bedroom, luckily for him, as he'd forgotten my clothes were still on their bedroom floor. When he came back he said she'd come back to pick something up, and that he was sorry he'd lied and that I should go, so I just did, without really saying anything. I've been feeling really guilty about it since though, and wondering if I should tell her? Obviously I don't know her, but since they're in their 40s I figured they'd still use Facebook, and I knew his name so I was able to find her. I'd even been feeling like I should have told her at the time, but me appearing naked at the top of her stairs probably wouldn't have been the best way for her to find out. Most of my friends think I should stay out of it, since I'm not in either of their lives, but I still feel bad. Now for a few comments before the update. You are going to get all kinds of "you never out someone" comments, but his wife has a right to know. Not necessarily that he's into men, because she may know that, but that he's cheating on her, finding random hookups online and bringing them into their home to apparently bang in their bed. I'm sure a nice guy. You sound like a compassionate person, but what if you weren't? What if the next guy he brings into their home is some serial killer or someone who becomes obsessed and shows up and makes a scene in front of their kids or attacks his wife out of jealousy? Cheaters never think of that kind of stuff, only covering their asses. Then the original poster responded with, "He told me before we met that he was bi, and that his wife knew, and that wasn't why they divorced." I guess he could have been lying about that too, but from the info he gave me I wouldn't be outing him. Comment 2. Not the idiot, please tell her. As someone who was that wife, I will be forever grateful to the woman who told me the truth. And while my ex wasn't gay, she told me he had been sleeping with multiple other students. He was a college security guard for over a year. Did it add to the pain and shock? Sure. But knowing the whole truth helped me so much in moving on. Forced outing or not, she deserves to know the whole truth. Only getting a part of it, and then finding out there's even more lies/hidden would be horrible. Just be careful and super apologetic. Not that you're in the wrong at all, of course. More of, "Hey, I'm sorry, your husband is a douche and I thought you deserved to know." Like I said, I can't imagine where I'd be if the fourth girl my ex cheated on me with hadn't found out he was still married and reached out. She gave me years of my life and my sanity. Now for the update. Hey guys, a couple of people in the comments of the last post asked for an update, so I thought I'd give one now. Sorry it's been a while, I've been quite busy. There's nothing super juicy or dramatic to report though, honestly. I decided to message his wife and tell her, since that's what almost everyone here recommended to do, and even most of my friends who'd advised me to stay out of it came around and changed their minds when I showed them the post and all the comments. I also decided to do what one of the commenters suggested and make another profile to hide myself just in case. I wasn't sure whether to mention I was a guy. The possibility I'd be outing him honestly hadn't occurred to me since he told me he was bi and his wife knew before they divorced, but obviously he could have been lying about that. So in the end I didn't mention that, and just said her husband had slept with me. Someone suggested sending a screenshot of his app profile as proof, but it was a faceless Grindr profile so that wouldn't really work, so instead I just gave identifying details about their house and bedroom, the day it had happened and how she had come in to get something, and hoped that would serve as enough evidence. I also sent photos of the chats where he gave the address. She didn't reply or even see it for a few days, so I worried that she just didn't check her messages on Facebook, and it would just be sitting there forever and she'd never know, or would find out in like 3 years or something. But after like 4 days she saw it, but didn't say anything. I thought that was fair enough. It's not like she owed me anything and at least she'd seen it, but she did reply a few days later. She thanked me for telling her, said a few things about how I'd finally relieved a latent suspicion, and for some reason she asked to meet me. I told her sorry I wouldn't really be comfortable with that, and was sorry for what had happened, and she thanked me again and that was it. Stupidly I didn't block her husband on Grindr. To be honest, I assumed he would block me and he messaged about a day later. Nothing too awful, just a paragraph about how malicious I was, lol, so that was fun. I was tempted to reply but just blocked him instead. And that was it. Sorry, there's nothing more interesting or conclusive, but it doesn't sound like they're staying together. Thank you for all the advice. Comment 1. Not the idiot. The husband brought you into the situation by lying about getting a divorce. He lied to his wife and cheated on her with you. She deserves to know the truth so she can make her own decisions on what is best for her and her family. It is ridiculous that someone would say that you'd be the AH in this situation. You were literally brought into the situation, and the husband made it your business. The entire situation would have been avoided if the husband actually stuck to his vows and was not a lying cheater. You did the right thing. The wife deserved to know. Comment 2. I'd want to know, and the only person that ruined the marriage was the husband. If you're not happy in the relationship, be an adult and tell your spouse. Then get a divorce, then frick around. Cheaters are cowardly abusers. Comment 3. I think you did the right thing. I may be biased because I'm a married woman, but I would 100% want to know if I've wasted 13 years on my husband if he was cheating. Not to mention, being married makes him cheat on her. I don't care if you outed him, he should have thought of that before he intentionally made decisions that would negatively impact his wife. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.